Man, you talk about a short leash. 73 pitches, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Snell can't believe it.
What is up, guys? It's Baseball Nerd back with the last Around the Horn of the 2020 MLB COVID season. Short season, got through the playoffs. It was a really crazy postseason. The Dodgers are finally world champions. They brought in Mookie Betts, Brusdar Graterol, some other things, main pieces. But the Dodgers finally did it. Clayton Kershaw gets that elusive ring. He is finally a world champion. We'll get right into the breakdown, though. Tony Gonsolin going up on the bump for the Dodgers. He's getting an inning and 2/3 on 3 hits, 1 run, which is coming right here off of Mr. Randy Arozarena. This bomb, he has been the offense of the Rays this whole postseason, and he was in Game 6 yet again. Tony Gonsolin, though, will give up this 1 earned run. That is it in his inning and 2/3. He's going to get 4 strikeouts, though, with 2 walks. Randy Arozarena goes 2 for 4, scoring the only run and RBI for his team. You know, they only had 5 hits, as did the Dodgers. Dodgers just came up a little more clutch with their hits, getting 3 runs out of their 5, as opposed to the 1 from the Rays here. On the bump for the Rays, though, we have Blake Snell, who was dominant. He's the talk of the game until all the Justin Turner news came out, which we will get into later. But he's striking out everybody. He goes 5 innings and a third, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, no walks. He looked really dominant. 73 pitches. That's his first inning there. Just looks really, really, really sharp in this game. He's looked better than Glasnow in this series, even though Glasnow looked better throughout the beginning of the postseason. He's just looked really sharp. The Dodgers will bring in Floro here in the second inning to close it out and finish off the second, keeping the Rays at bay again. He did a really good job there. He only gets 1 out. That's all he's going to get in the game, but he did a really good job doing his job there. 0-2 count here on Austin Barnes, Throw over to first, and Ji-Man Choi pops off the bag, makes a nice tag there. This is a good play by Wendell and a really good play by Ji-Man Choi. He's came off the bag a couple times in this series, in the postseason alone, and made some really good split plays, made some jumping plays, and dropping the tag down on Betts. Good play there to get that out. Mookie Betts up now, who's actually been a lot worse against lefties in this year as opposed to righties. Got reverse splits there for Mr. Mookie, and Snell gets him on the high heater. His stuff looked really nasty. His curveball looked nasty. His fastball was fast, and he was spotting everything very well. Nice pitch there to get Corey Seager out. If you can get Betts and Seager out to start off the game and then to do it again later on in the game, striking both them out, just looks really, really good. Now he gets Turner out here on a drop third strike. Really nasty pitch there. That curveball at 82. It's such a huge drop-off from his fastball. It's insane, the speed differential there. 97 to 82, 15 miles per hour. Strikes out Max Muncy to finish the 4th inning. He will finish the 5th next and get a 3rd and the 6th. Going to the 6th, though, for the Rays, Brandon Lau getting out here on Gonzalez's strikeout. Victor Gonzalez goes an inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Strikes out 3 of the 4 batters he faces, as you see him strike out Margot there. Then Wendell, 2 outs, 2 count, 2s everywhere, and he's going to strike him out. He is fired up. He will be one of the 7 pitchers the Dodgers used last night, as opposed to the 5 by the Rays. And Blake Snell is going to face Austin Barnes here right before they start bringing in some of those 5 other pitchers. Austin Barnes gets a nice hit here on a breaking ball that kind of hung up. Not a very good pitch, but a good swing on it. Gets this one to fall in center field. There's 1 out runner at first. He's only at 73 pitches, and he's been so dominant. And Mookie Betts is coming up, who's been not as dominant against left-handers. Struck out twice on Blake Snell tonight, and Cash makes the move to Nick Anderson, and Mookie Betts is going to rip this double down the line on a 2-0 count. His control wasn't looking that good, and then he gives up this double. And yeah, runners at second and third now with 1 out, and the hottest hitter in Corey Seager coming up against a right-hander. This was not a good move. I hated this as soon as it happened. It's obviously easier to say it now, but I did tweet it at the time. Fastball here is going to score one of those runs, which really, really hurts the Rays in a 1-0 game where I feel like their offense was just not coming back. It was Randy Arozarena or bust. The Rays were not scoring runs last night. And Mookie Betts is now at third, 1 out. He's going to hit this rollover to first. Ji-Man Choi goes home. Mookie Betts was already halfway down the line, man. He got such a good secondary lead, man. It was, yeah, he was going to beat that out. I don't think unless... I don't even know. I think Ji-Man Choi goes to first with that. He shouldn't even be at third. Pass ball, and then the double on the pitching switch. Kevin Cash is shaking his head about it. Knows he already messed up. But yeah, just a rough inning there. Dodgers getting 2. It's now 2-1. Julio Urias comes in. He's going to finish out the game from this point. He needs to get 1 out here to finish the 8th, and he gets the strikeout to start off his section of the game. He's going to pitch 2 1/3 innings. No hits, no walks, no runs, 4 strikeouts. He was dominant to finish off this game. It was really cool to see him do it. Mookie Betts comes up in the bottom of the 8th, though, on an 0-2 count on Fairbanks, who's been pretty clutch. He's already at 23 pitches, though, and he gives up this bomb to Mookie Betts. Really sucks for the Rays. Kind of puts them in even a more hopeless spot. Really gives the Dodgers some fire to go, okay, we're going to finish this thing out. We just need 3 outs now. We got a 2-run lead. Julio Urias there, jumping all the way to 2 outs, 0-2 count, and strikes out Willy Adames to finish out the game. The Dodgers are World Series champs, 3-1, 5 hits to 5. Julio Urias putting them on his back at the end of the game. Mookie Betts having a really, really good game, going 2 for 2 with 2 runs and an RBI, helping the Dodgers win and being that man that they needed. Moving on, we're going to look at Justin Turner, the man you see before you. There's some big news after the game. We found out he got pulled mid-game because he had tested positive for COVID. There's a bunch of stories flying around last night, more flying around this morning. I got a clip of Ken Rosenthal, who was the first person I saw to report it, and then we're going to look at some tweets and kind of dive more into that part of the World Series.
Why he went on the field when he is positive, that is an excellent question. And my understanding from various people is that he was told not to go on the field or asked not to go on the field. He insisted upon it. The Dodgers insisted upon it, and that is why he was out there. And at one point, he did have his mask off. He was mostly masked, but there was a point during the picture when he did take it off.
Well, I think that answers all the questions because everyone watching at home is feeling the same thing. And look, you get the human emotion part of it, right? You work so hard, you know, you grow up and you don't get a chance to celebrate. So, I mean, we could all relate to Turner, who's one of the greatest guys in this game. Yeah. But Ken, I mean, the facts are what you're reporting, that it is not a false positive. He had 2 positive tests. I mean, obviously, Major League Baseball is going to have some explaining to do in the coming days, I would think, right?
I would agree with that, Kevin. And I would imagine that there are going to be a lot of questions asked. One is, would they have played tomorrow if the Rays had won this game? During the regular season, when a positive test occurred, they would basically not play the next day, right? That's what would happen. And they would have had to go through all the testing and contact tracing and all the things that they were doing during the regular season. This was in the middle of the World Series. Now, that's one question, obviously. Another question, and that's a hypothetical, we'll never get the answer. But the other question is why the scene that took place tonight was allowed to take place and MLB's reaction to it, if there will be a public reaction at all to what went on. Because clearly they had protocols in place. He was supposed to be isolated. I believe the commissioner said that on the stage. He was in isolation. And that.
So that's the clip of what Ken Rosenthal says. He later on says a correction to what he said on Fox Sports about Turner. His first result on the test from yesterday came back in the 2nd inning, not in the afternoon. His test from earlier today was then expedited, and when it came back positive, he was then removed from the game. So if that's the case, I feel a little less angry about him coming back on the field or playing the game in general. If he played the game knowing he was positive with COVID and went and put the other team, his team, and those people in jeopardy, that made me a little more angry and mad about, you know, why could he do that? How is he allowed to do that? How is this going to happen and no one's going to do anything about it? This is a picture of him with the team after he tested positive twice now and is on the field, no mask. If everyone there is okay with it and doesn't care, that's their decision. That's totally not up to us. But I just don't, it doesn't sit right with me playing the game and all that stuff. It's just, I don't like it. I think, you know, we would take it serious any other part of the year. Why just now? Are we just going to act like it's nothing because the season's over? If he was positive when this game started and he knew that, if he didn't, it's whatever. It's a lot of stuff still coming out, so we'll see how that story kind of develops in the next few days. But that is it for the Around the Horn recaps of the MLB season, postseason. That is it until season of 2021. We'll get back into it next year. In the meantime, we're going to do some off-season stuff, some looks at trades, free agents, stuff like that, rankings, just fun stuff, and be throwing in starting our MLB The Show content, getting into the video game. So look out for that very, very soon. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this World Series. The Dodgers are the champions. That is it. The season is over. COVID season is done. Hopefully next season can be normal. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.